President Magufuli says solution found to fraud committed by mobile phone companies. 6 people die after hill collapses on house due to heavy rains. Simba urged to be cautious in away game against AS Vita tomorrow. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. Dr. John Pombe Magufuli said that the cunning which has been used by some mobile phone companies in the country to provide false information relating to their profits and the amount of taxes which they are supposed to pay to the government can now no longer be used due to the launch of a system to oversee mobile phone communications. President Magufuli made these remarks after witnessing the handover of a system to supervise mobile phone communications to Tanzania Communications Regulatory Authority, TCRA, from the Swiss company SGS and a fellow partner, the Spanish company CVG, following signing of a contract for the manufacture of just such a system, which was first signed in 2013 and has been amended several times since then.
The
original contract was altered and hid away. The part concerning finances was not included in the contract. I used my sources and the original contract was found, so the managing director, Mr. Simba, was removed. Later, amendment was proposed and presented in Parliament, whereby Honourable Speaker and members of Parliament put back the section that was removed, and those responsible for removing that section were in government. Once the section was put back, we asked the engineer to come back and fulfill terms stipulated in his contract. So much has been stolen from Tanzania and it is not a secret. The new system has 7 sections and old contract had 4 sections, and the most important one was on revenue collection and had been removed. Without this system, you couldn't assess revenue from telecom companies, meaning that TRA was not able to collect the right amount of tax.
Residents of Badege Ward, Idibo and Leshata have had no road connections for over 2 days due to the collapse of Nkolongo Bridge, which joins the wards to Kilindi District in Tanga region with Kiteto District in Manyara region due to heavy floods caused by ongoing rains.
We ask the government to bear with us. We are doing everything to get finances so as to restore communication. This road is very important. What we are doing now is to carry out repairs so this road can be passable. The economy has been affected as a result. We, the government, are working on this and we ask everyone to be patient. We were going to Dar es Salaam and 2 days ago we couldn't get through. We asked for repair work to be done so a robust bridge can be built.
Arusha Regional Police Force is detaining 4 people who are allegedly involved in an international criminal money counterfeiting syndicate. The 4 suspects were arrested while they were in possession of thousands of counterfeit notes of more than 12 European countries as well as the USA. Arusha RPC Ramadhani Nkazi said that the 4 suspects who are still being interrogated were found with the equipment that is used to make counterfeit notes. He also noted that at the time of the arrest, the suspects had already manufactured a large amount of counterfeit notes of various national currencies.
We've been carrying out an operation against counterfeit notes from various nations. As you can see here, a car was also stolen from shoppers after it was reported. Security was enforced on all routes and we managed to arrest the driver who was driving the vehicle to Namanga. I commend the police for exceptional work done.
More than 6,000 residents of areas in Mkuzo, Songea in Ruvuma region have not had access to water for a long time, even though their houses have been connected to water pipes. The problem of a lack of water has been so severe that it has forced the residents to get water from improperly dug wells. Mkuzo is a new town that has state-of-the-art houses which have been connected to pipe water, but there's been no water supply in those houses for a week now.
It's been months. It is very hard. We have to fetch water at midnight. We ask the government to help. Water is only available at night. It is extremely important.
Kwetu Mkuzo tuna shida kubwa ya maji.
Lack of water is a big problem. It's only available from midnight, only for 2 hours. Yet they read out the meter.
Kwa hiyo inatubidi tuende tukatafute maji mbali.
Tumesha kuja na mapendekezo ya kuboresha ile.
We've come up with a plan to increase capacity to meet demand. This project will cost more than 150 million Tanzanian shillings.
Kuelekea lita milioni 2,125 ambazo ndo mahitaji.
A day after the government ordered all fishermen whose fishing equipment were caught in the license inspection operation at the coast of the Indian Ocean, some fishermen have thanked the government for hearing their cry, and now the license exercise is ongoing in places where the fishermen are, as well as fishing activities are ongoing with no hindrances.
Efficient stakeholder giving thanks to the government. I would like to praise the government for not forgetting us and for taking action to help us. I would like to point out that this shows that the government was responsive to our complaints. I would also like to advise the government to involve us in the decision-making process before actually making a decision, so as to avoid any confusion or misunderstandings in the future. I and my fellow fish traders would like to thank the government profusely for listening to our complaints. Let me also say that our situation was very bad. In addition, I would like to highlight the fact that some of us have not repaid our loans, plus we have children whom we have to send to school. So just to recap, I would like to offer my deepest thanks to the government again for responding promptly to our complaints.
With primary and secondary schools being opened for over a week now, an average of less than 50% of students in Masasi District Council as well as Masasi City Council in Mtwara region have not reported to schools they were placed in on claims of not having been paid for cashew nuts.
Attendance for the first week is not good for the 2 municipal councils. It is less than 50%, so we are going to be asking for families to bring their kids to school. So far, it is only 35% for Masasi, and Masasi town is at 45%. Where are the other children? Those in management and the regional commissioners should look for parents who are not taking their children to school.
Residents of Pemba North region of Pemba have said that the lack of reliable transportation at the Wete port has had hugely negative consequences for them, such as an increase in prices of various products. Moreover, the situation has forced many of them to wake up around dawn in order to begin their journey to the port so that they can get into a ferry whenever they want to travel, which is something that is of great inconvenience. The arrival of this ferry at the port means that it is now doing the job that was previously being done by MV Spice Island Ferry, which capsized a long time ago and was used to ferry passengers between Wete and Unguja.
My transport changes and used to leave early. It was not easy to get into buses and the prices were high. I'm so happy. This is the second happiest day in my life. The first was the day I got married. We are so happy about this. You see, we'd experienced transport challenges for a long time, but we were patient, and now our prayers have been answered. The aim of buying this ship is to grow our economy.
The French Embassy, along with various academic sectors, is currently implementing a project called Afrique that aims to develop the partnership between Tanzanian and French universities, as well as promote access to higher education and research in Tanzanian students.
It is very beneficial to have the staff exchange. These go to French universities, and they spend a couple of times, they see how it is done, and the French professors also can send their students. In science, we really enjoy when students, PhD students, master students, study in a different environment. You know, there's always new things to gain from sampling from overseas. So we are requesting also that kind of a link, and we are inviting you also to our Tanzania Commission for Universities. Always there's an annual university exhibition. So we will remember, because I was here today, we'll remember to write a formal invitation also to have French universities to exhibit some of the products.
Today, in 2019, France is eager to open its doors and give the opportunity to African students to enjoy student mobility programs, especially students coming from the Eastern African region like Tanzania. This program will enable them to complete part of their studies in France and then return to their country to develop their country's economy. The presence of Tanzanian students in France will help in promoting the Tanzanian culture and the Swahili language. I'm sure about that. And French students will also do part of their studies in Tanzania to learn the rich language of Swahili.
And that's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, 6 people from one family, a husband, wife and 4 children, have died after a hill collapsed on their house due to heavy rains at Sororezo village in Burundi.
People were sleeping when the rain started to fall. Then there was landslides. 6 people died. What is needed now is first aid.
4 days after Al-Shabaab militants attacked the Dusit D2 building in Riverside, Westlands, the High Court in Kenya has given a permit to the police to continue to detain 5 people alleged to have been involved with the terrorists that invaded the hotel, causing the deaths of 21 people and injury of others.
The court has been informed that more evidence needs to be gathered. The court has also considered the nature of this case and its magnitude, and that the investigator might require to travel inside and outside the country to carry out investigation. We are in solidarity with all Kenyans. Our soldiers are fighting to protect us, and we are with you to stop Al-Shabaab indoctrination.
Nimezaliwa katika dini la Kiislamu.
I'm born a Muslim. I've never had any teaching on terrorism. I don't know what religion these perpetrators believe in.
Sijaisikia.
And that is all for international news. Do stay with us, though. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Dr. Hamis Kigwangala, has dissolved the Tourism Board for failing to oversee implementation of the government's directives that are aimed at improving and promoting the tourism sector both locally and internationally.
This board will be dissolved so new members can be nominated who will be able to pressure management. Management will be given 3 months so that they can up their game. Only one company has contributed and other companies have not yet been able to.
Principal cooperative unions have asked the government to reduce challenges in transporting cotton from the cooperatives to the purchasing companies and for the weighing exercise to be conducted at the principal cooperative unions, which will help resolve various issues they encounter when transporting cotton.
The weighing takes place on arrival. Instead of 100 kilograms, you find there is only 95. If the unions are well managed and get rid of leaders who are concerned about serving their own interests, then cotton farmers will benefit. The two government institutions aim at making sure that cotton farmers benefit.
A total of 3,750 business identification cards have been issued to small-scale entrepreneurs in Kongwa District, Dodoma region, with the District Commissioner, Deogratius Ndejembi, warning officials and leaders to avoid lies in this exercise by placing people who do not have the qualifications, as harsh measures will be taken against them.
TRA should sensitize other business owners so that they will know the importance of having this ID so we can progress. TRA should give education to small business owners.
And that is all for business news. Sports is up next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Sean Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hip, the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang, bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports, Tanzania representatives in international club competition, Simba Sports Club, who face AS Vita in their second group game of the CAF Club Champions League, have been urged to be cautious in their game tomorrow as they are playing away.
Sura.
Simba played well their last game against Sora. Their approach was direct, they attacked from the beginning, and they weren't prolonging the ball, which helped to weaken Sora. I expect them to go with the same approach when they play the Congolese, because the Congolese use strength in their game as well as speed, and they are blessed with talents.
Congo ni watu ambao wanacheza mpira wa nguvu sana, wana kasi sana.
Boxer Haidari Mchanjo decided to shift to the gym as he prepares for his championship qualifier bout against Tony Rashid on January the 26th.
I'm in a good condition. I've had good preparations under my coach Mbaruku Heri. I am with a girl called Ruby at this gym. I am observing my opponent, and that's why, ever since I signed the contract for the fight, my home is the gym.
Roger Federer delivered a serving masterclass to sweep aside American Taylor Fritz and reach the Australian Open's 4th round.
The defending champion won 6-2, 7-5 and 6-2 under the roof on Rod Laver Arena at a rainy Melbourne park. The Swiss third seed, who's 37 years old, is aiming to become the first man to win 7 Australia Open titles. Next up for him is Greek 14th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas, who bet Nicolas Basilashvili 6-3, 3-6, 7-6, 9-7 and 6-4. Joining Federer in the next round is Czech former semi-finalist Thomas Berdych, who knocked out Argentine 16th seed Diego Schwartzman 5-7, 6-3, 7-5 and 6-4.
Manchester United midfielder Marouane Fellaini will be out for 3 or 4 weeks with a calf injury. This is said by the interim boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Here is more on this.
Belgian, who has played just 31 minutes in 6 games under Solskjaer, suffered the injury in training. However, Alexis Sanchez is likely to be fit for Saturday's game against Brighton at Old Trafford after missing the victory at Tottenham last weekend. It is said, Solskjaer said on Fellaini's injury, Solskjaer also said there were a couple of niggles for other players in the squad, but added it was normal for his point of the season.
We apologize for the mix-up on the last 2 stories, but that is the end of our news bulletin. Thank you for watching and have a good and safe night.